Hello everyone, this is Sue from Sue's Paper Creations. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada. I'm located in Victoria, British Columbia, but anyone who's within Canada can also shop within my online store. So today I have got a project for you that we did at my Stampin' Bingo event this week. So I had a color Stampin' Bingo event, so it was to introduce some beautiful colors. And we got to do 4 projects. We played some bingo, we had some prizes, and we just had an awesome time. So the ladies asked if I could do a little video or share the measurements with them. So I thought I would do a little video so I can share it with all of you as well. And this project is actually a Rhonda Wade card. She's very inspiring. I love the projects that she does. And so I wanted to do my little take on it. So we are going to be using a few new products out of the new annual catalog. One of them is this beautiful bundle here, which has the Pop of Petals stamp set, and then it's got this beautiful punch that coordinates with it. I am going to show you a trick on how you can line up your stamps so that, in this case, when you have, has 4 different petals here, you can stamp them and you can punch them perfectly every single time. So I will show you that in this video. I'm going to show you the dimensions on how to create this fabulous card. So it is not only a card, but it is also a money holder or a gift card holder. So when you open it up, voila, you have a place to put money or a gift card. So here's another one here. This one I think has the gift card in it. Okay, or this one here, perfect place to hold some money for a gift as well. So I love these sort of projects that are not only they're a card and a gift combined. And the awesome thing about this project is, for all you who love the one sheet projects that I do, this project takes one sheet of 6x6 paper, and that is going to cover your front, it is going to cover your inside here, and then you can either put a decorative piece on the inside here, or if you wanted, you could also take that extra little piece of DSP and you could put it on your envelope so it coordinates with your card. So there is no waste in this project. We're going to use the gorgeous papers from the Tropical Escape, which is right here. I love these papers. You actually get 48 sheets. We did use a lot of sheets in my classes because I had 2 fabulous classes with lots of ladies that came, so we did use quite a few, but this is all that I still have left over. And so it's got some cool kind of muted patterns as well as stripes in there, tropicals. It's a beautiful piece and pieces of paper, and I love the combination of the pinks with some of our new greens that we've got. Okay, so I'm going to get started and show you the dimensions on how to make this card, and we are going to get creating. So this is the sheet that I've chosen because I wanted something that was different than what I've got here, something a little more tropical, so you guys can see what that one's going to look like. And I am going to use it on a piece of Blushing Bride cardstock. So let's get with our dimensions, because that is what I wanted to share with, and actually this is score at 4 1/4. So that's 1/4. Okay. All right. So let's get out. This is our 12 inches by 5.5 sheet of cardstock, and you can get 12 by 12 sheets of cardstock in our assorted packages. They're kind of like the best of, let's see here, the best of the subtles, or they've brought back actually, so here we are, 12 by 12 cardstock, so 20 sheets, 2 of each 10 colors, and then you get a nice combination of a variety of all the different colors. So this one here is from the Subtles collection. And you're going to take your sheet of 12 by 5.5 and you're going to pop it in your Stampin' Trimmer here. Let's extend my little arm. Get all ready to go. And I am going to score the first score at 4 1/4. Okay, then we're going to move it along and we're going to score it at 6. And then our last score is going to be at 7 3/4. Okay, so that is our piece of cardstock ready to go. I'm going to put that aside and I'm going to bring in my piece of DSP. So we're going to cut it at the same time. So we've got all of our pieces ready. Okay, so I need to put my trim or my scorer down there, and I'm going to bring in my cutting blade here, and I am going to put my piece of DSP here at 5 1/4. So I'm going to cut one strip off. So this little strip is going to be my decorative strip that I can put either on my envelope or I can add it to the inside of the card. Okay, then we're going to rotate it. Okay, so we're going to turn it and then we're going to cut at 4. So here we are. So this is going to give us our front of our card and then a decorative piece for the inside. Okay, so we're going to take that out of the way. And then I'll just go over the other layers that you guys need. So you want to bring in a piece of coordinating cardstock. So this is going to be your layer. So this piece right here. So kind of like your mat for your top feature piece. So this part is 4 1/4 by 3. And then the little piece of Whisper White that we're going to stamp on is 3 3/4 by 2 1/2. Okay, and that's just going to layer nicely like that. Okay, so let's create the base of our card, and we're going to need a couple different stamps to do this, punches. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to score down the center. Okay, then I'm going to bring one side up and burnish it there and the other side up. So what you end up with is a little mountain in the middle, okay, and that's what you want. Now for these cards, what I like to do is I like to make sure that everything is nice and crisp, and not only that, taking your scoring tool here, you want to make sure that you give it a good burnish over those lines, because it's also going to cause the card not to be as bulky. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it on the inside as well and have some nice crisp folds, and just on the back side. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to bring in our tear tape. So tear tape is awesome. There is lots on the roll and this will last you forever. You want to place one piece of tear tape just on the outside of your little mountain fold here, and this is going to bring this little flap together here so that we have the piece to cut our little grooves out of that's going to hold our gift card. Okay, so we are going to glue this piece together. So you don't want it in the center seam, because that's going to make it so that you can't fit anything in. You want to make sure that it is on one of these outside edges. Okay, so right next to the score, I'm going to pull that back and put that together. So now what we've got is this piece in the center. Okay, so you're going to bring in the punch, and this is a word window punch. I also have the other punch. I think it's just a classic one. It's just up on my other table for another project here, but you just want to slide it in halfway and you just take a little bite out of it. Okay, then we're going to shimmy it to the right here. We're going to take another little bite out, and then we're going to shimmy to the left and do the same thing. There we go. So now you are left with this little groove in there, which you can put your money or your gift card in. Okay, so that's your holder part. All right, so we've got the base of our card all ready to go. Now we get to decorate. So I'm going to bring in my snail and I'm going to start laying down my pieces of DSP. So I'm going to put this little piece of Tropical Paradise here on the front. I love this paper. Okay, and I'm going to just attach that on the front, like so. Okay, then I'm going to take this piece and we are going to put it on the inside. So again, we're not using, or we're not wasting anything on this project. Then this piece here, I can either stick it here like this, or I can put it on the coordinating envelope, but I think I'm going to put it on the inside for this project. So I'm going to actually flip it so it's not too matchy here, and I'm going to flip it over and use the other side, which also coordinates, just to kind of make it a little different, add some interest. So I'm going to put that right here so you see it when you open it up, and it decorates this part here that's going to hold the gift card or the money. And this little piece right here is literally the only waste that you have from that 6x6 piece of DSP. I'm just going to cut this. There we go. That's better. So I'm just going to cut off that. Just trim it up like so. Okay. Voila. All right. So now let's get to decorating the front. So I'm going to bring in the stamp set, and I'm going to show you how you can mark these flowers in here so that you can stamp them perfectly every single time in the right spot so that they coordinate with your punch. Okay, so what I do when I get a stamp set like this is I take out the stamps. I'm not one to usually use the little labels on them. I just kind of leave them in there, and I use just the blank foam. Okay, so I'm going to take out one that I haven't marked yet, because some of these I have. So this one I haven't marked yet. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to look for this stamp on the front, which is right here. Okay, now I'm going to turn it upside down like how I would stamp it, and I'm going to place it on the image, and you can see how the petals are all different. So if I go to start trying to line these up, I can see that that petal isn't going to line up there. So what I do is I keep rotating around, and I can see that one's not going to match. That doesn't match. Let's see. And then you can see the little tail on there, kind of how this one curves up. And I can see that this is the way that the image is on the front of the cover. Okay, so knowing that, what I'm going to do now is I am going to mark the bottom center of that stamp with just a little mark like that. Okay, and now when I go to use it, I'm going to put it on a block just like that. When I go to stamp it, I can bring in my, where am I? My petal, or my blushing bride. And I can go ahead and I can stamp that image. So I'll actually do it twice, because we're going to need 2 of these beautiful flowers to finish our project. And then I can bring in my coordinating punch, and this should line up perfectly like it does. So see that? It is in the perfect position where all 4 of the petals line up perfectly with the punch, and then you can pop them out. So if you don't mark them, what tends to happen, this is just what happens to me every single time, is I go and I stamp my image, and then I go to put my punch in, and the petals don't line up. So then I turn it around and I try the other side, and it doesn't line up. And then I try this way, and it doesn't line up. And what tends to happen is it's usually when I have to get the punch in this way, and so what do I have to do is I have to cut it and then line it up. Okay, so it just kind of takes the guesswork out, makes it a lot faster if you mark your stamps. You can have the labels on and still mark them. And it just makes it for really quick alignment for your punching. Okay, little side note for you guys. All right, so let's finish off this beautiful card. I'm going to take these 2 flowers, and I am going to just add a little bit of dimension to them, so you can see how these ones have a little bit of dimension. Okay, so I'm going to take my bone folder, and I'm just going to curl up the petals just like that. You can see how that gives it a nice little curl. It's like curling ribbons. Those curly ribbons that you put on parcels when you were decorating presents when you were little. Same thing. Okay. So that is that one there. And I love these because you can use them singly, and it's a beautiful flower, or you can layer them, and they layer perfectly to do a little 8-point flower, which is what I'm going to do. Okay, now I'm going to bring in my white piece here, and I'm going to add just a little bit of detail to the back of this. So I wanted kind of a backdrop for this flower and these petals to sit on. So I'm going to bring in a stamp from Tropical Chic, and this stamp set actually coordinates, as you can see, it coordinates with all the beautiful images that are in our Tropical Escape paper. So it's beautiful. It comes with dies to cut all of these out, and I just want to use this little piece right here to just add some interest in the backdrop of this card. So I'm going to ink it up in, again, the Blushing Bride, and I'm just going to randomly kind of bring the pattern in and out. Doesn't matter how you lay these down. If you wanted to make it lighter or ombre, you could start and you could stamp it like this, and then you could just restamp it again and kind of have light and dark versions of the lines. But I think it's kind of cool, and actually these lines are in some of the imagery of the papers. So some of them actually have lines like that. So it's just kind of a neat way to dress up your little background. Okay, now big decision that I have to make is what color do I want my petals, because I've got all these beautiful greens in the background of this paper. I've got the Granny Apple Green, and I've also got this darker color, which is the Shaded Spruce. So I'm going to go with that one. It's one of our new greens, and I'm going to punch out 2 petals. And this is just our petal punch. Comes in handy. I use it all the time. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to curl these just a little bit too, again with the bone folder, just because it just adds little extra detail. It's those little extra details that make your cards fabulous, okay, and take them to the next level. So just give a little curl. So those are ready to go. And now I'm going to bring in my glue dots, and we are going to start assembling here. So I'm going to bring in my flowers first, and I'm going to use a little glue dot. I pop that in the middle there. Okay, so those are those put together. Now what I'm going to do is lay down my petals. I'm going to put one up top, one below here like that. And actually I have to decide what I'm going to make this card. I think I'm going to go with a congratulations for this one. So this stamp set does not have any little sayings in them. It just has all these beautiful images. So I brought in a congratulations, which is just from the Petal Palette stamp set, because I love the scripture in this one. So I'm going to do this in black. Yeah, I'm going to do this in black, and I'm going to put this up here. So there's my congratulations. Okay, and I wanted to get that on to the piece of paper here before I put my flower, so I know how to lay my petals down so it doesn't cover up the congratulations, but it kind of frames it a little bit, because I like that. All right, so let's add a little pop to our flower. I'm going to put a dimensional on there just to pop it up. And then what I'm going to bring in is my faceted gems. And I am going to use, I think, one of the smaller ones to pop just in the center of this. And I'm going to show you why I chose this size faceted gems. Some of these beautiful flowers, in the center of them, they have these nice little kind of framed imagery in them. So I don't want to cover that up. So instead, I chose a smaller flower so you can still see that detail. Okay. Same with, there's another one, this one here. Same thing, it kind of has that scalloped edge around the center, and I didn't want to cover that up, so I used a medium faceted gem for that one, where this one here doesn't have that detail, so I went for the larger gem. Okay, so it just depends on the way that you want it to look. So I'm going to go for the smaller gem for that one now, and I'm going to add that layer on top of here. Getting very close to being done here. And it's going to be fabulous. So I'm going to put that down like that. Now I'm going to bring in some blushing bride twine, and I just want to tie a little bow onto this layer before we put it on the base of the card. So I need enough for an actual bow here. And I'm just going to tie this up. So I'm going to tuck it underneath the flower over top of the petals. I mean, you can do whatever you'd like, but I just wanted to have just a little pretty detail to bring a little bit more pink into this project, because there is a lot of green in this paper, and I wanted to bring out the flower and the base of the card, so just a little balance. Okay, there we go. So there is my little bow for there, and now I'm just going to pop that on top of here. And again, I'm going to bring in just some dimensionals just to give it that extra depth in the card. There we go. Center that in the center. And there you have the finished card. So doesn't matter which sheet of paper that you choose out of this paper stack, they all turn out fabulous, and they all coordinate with the candy apple green, the new shaded spruce, and the blushing bride, which are the colors that are in the papers. So when you open it up, we can now stick in, let's see, I'll take it out of this one so you can see how this works. You just have to just open it up, and we'll put a little $5 in there like that. So it just slides in, and there you have your little money holder. You have your extra detail here. You have used every single piece of that DSP, except for, I don't even know, it's so small, I don't even know where that little tiny, oh, there it is, except for this. That's all that you have left from your project, from a 6x6 piece of paper of the DSP. So that's pretty awesome. So there's no waste, and you end up with a beautiful creation that you can give away. This would be awesome for year end, a little thank you for year end for teachers with a gift card in there, Starbucks or whatever. I think that's pretty cool, or for a graduate or birthdays. So whatever occasion you need, this is just a really cool project, a complete gift. And for those who came to my class, there is all of your measurements there, okay? So if you want to purchase any of the products that were used in today's video, here is my current host code, and that just runs to the end of this month, and then I'll switch over to another code. But just enter that code in when you do your online orders, and this is my Stampin' Up! Website, and I will not only enter you into a draw if your order is over $60 in products, but you're also going to get a little card kit pack from me, which is just a free little gift that I send in the mail with a nice little thank you. And it's just my way of saying thanks for shopping with me, thanks for supporting me, and I will send that out to you in the mail so that you have a little surprise from me. Okay, so I hope you guys had an awesome day. I am actually going to tape a couple videos, some more coming up on other projects. So if you're wanting to watch those ones as well, just subscribe to my YouTube channel and you won't miss any. And you can see all the little creations that I make. Okay, have a great day. Bye.